Hello again and welcome to another episode of the Franchise Everything podcast where we talk about everything and anything franchising. And today I'm actually at the HouseProud Cleaning offices in Sydney and I'm joined by a franchise partner named Kathy Xu, who you're a 17-year veteran, aren't you, Kathy?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Excellent.
Yeah, love to.
17 years as a HouseProud Cleaning franchise owner. So where did it all start for you? You were previously, you told me before we got on board here that you're actually an accountant in China.
Yes. So migrant to Australia is actually a lot of change.
Yes.
So when I first came to Australia, I actually think about, when we're still young,
Yes.
think about, say, can continue the accounting business here.
Yeah.
But it's when we come to reality, there's a lot of different. You need to get through all the study, get through all the courses so that you can get the certificate.
So that's quite hard when you're migrating from that, especially the language barrier, isn't it?
Yeah, language barrier probably the
so
most.
I wouldn't do very well. I'm not good at accounting anyway, but I certainly wouldn't be good at Chinese in accounting.
Yeah.
So was that the decision when you came over here? You knew that was going to be the case, or when you were deciding to move from China?
No. I still think it's achievable, but when you come to Australia, from day one, you're starting to realize it's a lot harder. Especially, you actually can't. You have to study from the beginning. Say how you really live in Australia.
Yeah, and that's in prep. So what preparation did you do before you moved out here? Did you know much about Australia before you emigrated out here? If you can think back, I know it's a fair while ago now.
Not much, actually. Because my husband was a high school mate. So he came to Australia first. He didn't tell much, and
he didn't tell you much.
No, not much. He said, "Just come with me, and we can make it happen."
So it was a leap of faith by you, was it? We can make it happen, and you can be an accountant in Australia.
Not really. He said, "We'll be, for both of us, we work together, we try harder, we're going to have a good future."
Yeah.
And I came to Australia. And then after I came, I found it's really a lot harder. You know?
And what sort of process did you do to get to Australia at that time? I know it's probably changed quite a bit now.
Get married.
Was it to get married?
Yeah.
So,
get married.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you did that in order to get into Australia at that time, was it, you're saying?
Yes, that was my case.
Yes.
Yeah. I married to my husband, and then after 1 year's application, and then finally got a visa.
Excellent. Oh, great story. So you got here, and accounting wasn't going to happen. The challenge was and you were saying before that was it more the verbal communication part that was
more
the challenge?
Verbal,
and why is that? Can you explain why that is, or the differences?
Because mostly, especially I'm Chinese, my background is Chinese, and most of our Chinese people, we are really good at reading, writing, but verbal is a lot.
It's more challenging.
More challenging,
So that was the challenging part in certainly looking to move into the accounting field. So, so you realised accounting wasn't going to happen, you putting that study and everything together. So what was your thinking then? What was your first steps to thinking, okay, what am I going to do for a career or business?
I actually went into the English study in TAFE, and then actually study in TAFE for accounting certificate 4. And then after the certificate 4, I was pregnant with my daughter. And then we stopped. And
things changed then?
Things changed.
So was it you having a child, then you're thinking, I'm going to have to go to a different direction?
Maybe. Don't know.
It's too far to think back.
Life does not so many if.
Yes.
So we have the baby, so we come to the reality, say we're going to make some living. So we actually work for a few company after my daughter born, and my husband worked in his IT industry as well.
Yes.
But a few years later, we starting to think of doing some business, and then we bought a takeaway business in a shopping center. Then we started 3 years of shopping center life.
So what was that like?
Well, you need to work really hard, 7 days a week. And pretty much 7 to 7.
Long hours, very
long hours, and there's no guarantee.
Yeah.
No guarantee you 100% make money.
So did you realize it'd be that hard before you got into it? Or would you? No, you wouldn't have.
No.
Yeah.
So it's a Chinese takeaway business.
Yep.
The owner sell it to us. She asked me, did you cook? I say, yes. Then you can run a business.
Oh, of course. That makes sense, doesn't it? So you had to learn very quickly, no doubt.
Yeah. We have to learn really quickly, how to make a nice sweet and sour pork.
I bet you did. A Mongolian lamb.
Mongolian lamb, and how to make a good fried rice.
Yeah.
And I remember, we even don't know how to make a nice fried egg. the omelette.
You must have been terrified.
Terrified.
Yeah.
But we learn.
Yeah, you learned.
We learn how to be strong, how to work hard.
Yeah.
And no complain, because you can't complain.
Yes.
You only can make things worse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you did that for 3 years.
For 3 years.
Okay. So fairly early on in that, given how the challenges of that, were you thinking of, okay, how do we exit this, or what's next for us, or would you?
We actually sold the business in a loss, but we just want to leave because it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And
So what was next then? So you sold at the loss, you just want to get out of this, and then you
just
think, clean slate, let's move on to something else.
Yeah.
What were you looking for then? What were you thinking?
We think of a lot of things like buying another type of business, but we really forget what type of business we want to buy. And they're quite expensive. And especially back to that day, we want to buy a cafe, it looks like a cafe is more attractive, And then back to that date, I think a good cafe selling 300 to 400 up.
We're talking about 20 years ago, aren't we? Roughly.
Yeah. Roughly 20
years ago, roughly.
Yep. Yeah. And then that's the things that we couldn't afford.
Yes.
And then we look at the cleaning and start really low, the low entry fee. So I still remember my husband, Edward, he say, selling that chip must be a bad business.
Because it was priced so low?
The price is really low.
Yeah.
It's so unreal.
How good can it be if the entry cost is so low?
No, so that's what I say, why don't we just have a look? And then we make a phone call, make an appointment, come to see the franchisor, Paul Mitchell. And then he gave us some list to talk to as well. The franchisee already joined HouseProud.
Yeah, so the other franchise partners to see what their experience was like.
Yeah. And surprisingly, when we talk to some of the franchisee, and 2 of them, they actually doing restaurant before.
They were previous food operators. Oh wow,
food operator.
Yeah,
and then they will say, got in common. They say it's a lot easier, and you don't need to pay rent, and the time is more flexible. You can only the really important things is you can spend the time, like weekend with your children, with your family. Probably that's one of the attraction as well. So at that time we were so desperate to make some money and also have our weekend back as well.
Yeah.
So, and then we poured it out, give us some job to try on.
So you did some trial stuff with them?
Yeah, we actually trial for 1 week or 2 before we actually signed a contract.
That's probably a good idea to see if this is something you actually want to do.
Yeah. And then we found, we can do that. And I think that's a benefit from the past 3 years we work in a restaurant as well. So we can have a comparison. It's actually a lot easier. Yeah.
So how long did it take you to decide to jump in and do that? So you did your trial with
1
them?
week.
1 week and you were there. You're ready to roll.
Yeah.
And 17 years later, here we are.
Yeah.
So what's it been like? So you operate the Chatswood area. That's your area. So you've got an exclusive territory there. So now you were telling me something really interesting beforehand. You've got customers. You've had customers that have been with you for 17 years.
Yes.
That's amazing. So how do you keep customers? What's the secret to keeping customers happy in your view?
Reliable, honest, and trustable. So always tell the customer what's gonna happen. Like for example, I got different team of the cleaning
members in your
team,
business.
the team member. So if, like, for example, one of my the team member doing it is sick, you're going to be really honest, tell them, say, we, especially for the past few years, COVID.
I imagine.
And we have to tell the customer, say, look, my cleaning lady has COVID. So do you want to skip, or do you want, if you want to clean, I can send someone else in. So that they know the time changing, the people changing, and also things, you need to be really 100% honest with the customer.
So it's a real communication thing, isn't it?
Communication is, I would say, the main part of how to run a business.
Yeah.
I mean, I always said to my cleaning lady, say, you may be not doing the cleaning a lot better than the others, but what we stand is to say, we are trustworthy and reliable. Always let the customer know what's going on, because it's their house. You can't, even like if you break something or you want something is breaking, even maybe you are just breaking it by accidentally. You need to let that customer know.
Yeah.
Customer,
because things do go wrong, don't they? I mean,
do go wrong. Yeah, sometimes
doing so much work and stuff, things go wrong.
Yeah,
there's no doubt in any business. Whatever.
I mean, it's their choice. You ask them, you pay for it or not. Yeah, but you need to tell them.
That's quite rare, though, isn't it? That those sorts of things would happen and go wrong like
quite
that.
often.
Yeah,
to be
is
honest,
that right?
Yeah, quite often.
It can happen.
Yeah, it can happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, serious damage for the past 17 years, I only got two damage. This was an accident, and it's quite expensive.
Yeah.
So, but we got insurance.
Yes, of course.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, things happen, there's no doubt. So, okay, so that's sort of like the secret of communication, obviously being there.
Yeah.
So now, do you clean much now? What's been your progression through the business, and how many team members do you have? How many team members do you have now?
6.
Okay, so you've got 6 other cleaners through your territory, and that's just through one suburb. So I imagine there's growth there. So what has been your role in the business, and how long, do you still clean, and how long have you done that for?
We start husband and wife teams when we start a business, and then I was pregnant with my son again. So it's actually, forced to have to hire someone. So by that time, my husband lead the team to hire some employee to doing it. And then after 1 year, my son go to childcare, so I back to business. But I don't need to go back to clean with my husband. So we eventually become 2 teams.
So you split off then. So you were originally cleaning together.
Yeah. And then we split and to husband, wife, 1 each team. So less argument. And then when the business keep going, and it needs someone to do the invoicing, to the operation management, and also
just all the day-to-day stuff. Yeah,
day-to-day stuff, daily operate. So I need to look after the family and the children as well. So eventually, I fading off from the daily operation to
and how long
lead
did that
the team.
take you? At what point was that, you reckon?
I think nearly 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually,
you stayed in a while, are you?
Yeah. Nearly 10 years. And then that's how we're starting to hire the first contractor. So at first we are not that confident does that work, because customer always see me or my husband's face. And then
that's a hard thing as a small business owner, isn't it? When you are the face of it, and it's going to get
you're
done, you're reliable and
Yeah.
everything. What was that like, having to finally rely on other people, to employ other people, to?
I'll tell the customer.
Yeah.
Say, I'm going to have this lady to come to clean, and by herself. So would that be okay with you? If you think it's not okay, or you prefer someone do the operation and come to communicate with you.
So communication again, isn't it?
I can ask head office. So this is another thing to join a franchisee, the advantage. So if things not work out for one customer, you still can pass back on to the head office and someone else can look after.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
So that's if for whatever reason, maybe
for whatever
personalities or something like that, then that customer can still be serviced by someone else.
Yeah. And also and after that, we have the second team, and I will tell the customer, say, if you're not happy with this team, you can try the other team. because it's really strange. It's just like, it's a really
personal
personal
thing. It's a personal thing, isn't it? Someone's coming into your home.
Yeah.
So you really want to feel comfortable with them.
Yeah, like if you're doing a cafe, if it's today, it's not this guy to making a coffee for her. She may not like it. So it's really personal. So we have to tell the customer, say, if you don't like this one, we can try this one. If you don't try this one, you don't like this one, we can pass back to the head office. Yeah.
So do you do commercial or residential? Or are you mainly residential? What sort of jobs
We
do you
do
mainly
commercial as well.
Yeah. Have you always done a lot of commercial, or have you mainly been residential?
Not a lot. Not a lot. Commercial, like I feel like commercial you need to do it at the nighttime. And it's a different strategy. And also commercial, for example, if you go to an office, there's so many people can point out you didn't do well. But for the house cleaning, only one boss.
That's really interesting. I haven't thought about it like that because, someone can be sitting at one desk and say that this person didn't clean this area very well, and there could be 20 people in that office, couldn't there? And everyone else is happy except that one person.
Everyone is the boss.
Yeah.
But if you clean a house, you maybe only one boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you can really communicate with and solve problems and things
yes,
like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I found house cleaning actually is a lot easier.
Yeah. Is it physically easier, or you just mean it easier because of the communication?
Mentally easier.
Mentally easier. Is that right? Why is that? Why do you find that mentally easier?
Because office cleaning, less stress, and also commercial cleaning is more commitment.
Yes.
Like it doesn't matter. They don't care. You are sick. You are on holiday. You have to make arrangement.
Yeah.
But for residential cleaning, if you tell customers, say, "Oh, I'm sorry, we are sick."
Yep.
And do you want my other people to come, or you want to just skip? Sometimes they just skip.
Yeah.
So you don't need to do that much organization.
Yeah, I can imagine it becomes that personal contact, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I found out, because we know a lot of cleaners as well. I found out, doing the nighttime shift, it's not as happy as doing the daytime.
Why is that?
You go out to work at the working hour, and then you spend time for dinner, for nighttime, the weekend.
So you're not
with
as
your
happy
children.
as a person. Yeah. I see.
Yeah. Like HouseProud, whenever we get together to see each other, we are all really happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of that residential. And that brings us on to something. So what's the community of other franchise owners like? You were saying you do quite a bit of stuff with them, catch up for dinners and everything like that. What's it like being in the franchise group? And do you have much to do with the other franchise owners?
I did introduce some of my friends into HouseProud as well, because they can see our lives changing, and they can see we are happy. And me and my husband still married.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Can't blame the business on that.
So when they look at the business, try to look for the business to go in, and they think, oh, they might be a good choice too. So yeah.
How about catching up with the other franchise owners? So do you do much with other franchise owners of HouseProud in the
not much
area?
Actually, not much, and probably. Really surprisingly, our friends live really close by, and like 2 or 3 of our friends, we actually only meet at the franchise dinner.
At the franchise dinners.
And then we have so much to catch up. We just keep on talking and talking, and even sometimes Paul want to make a speech, we kind of ignore her. We ignore him because
you
so
never get
much,
a chance to catch up.
So much to catch up on.
Poor Paul.
Yes. Yeah. Oh well.
He'll survive. He'll do fine. He's doing fine.
He's fine. He loved to to see everyone is so excited to catch up. Yeah.
So as we wrap up, do you see another 17 years to make it a 34-year HouseProud? What do you see? What do you see for the future?
We are still happy to stay, but I really honest, I don't think I will stay another 17
another
years.
17? No, it's too much. Too much.
Too old. Too old. Yeah, just cleaning. Because our business is doing well, so I don't think I can provide the same level of the service.
For double the years.
For another 17 years. Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, it's a great story, Kathy. Thank you for telling us your story.
You're welcome.
Much appreciated.
Yeah.
And that's it again for another great episode of the Franchise Everything podcast. If you like this sort of stuff, please share, subscribe. We love getting these stories out there. So we'll catch you in the next one soon.